Hello students, we will start with the next chapter, that is diversity in living things and their classification. Let's understand what is diversity. Now, we know that there are many different kinds of plants and animals on earth. All the plants and animals, they require a particular geographical condition, and according to those conditions, that particular organism have adapted themselves in that way, and they have survived according to the environment around them. This is called as the diversity which happens in the living organism. Because of the different regions, because of the different climate, because of different place, there are so many different living organisms which exist on the earth. And these living organisms, they live in various diverse conditions. Let's first understand about the diversity in plants. Let's understand the diversity in plants. Various types of living things have ability to adjust themselves to the conditions in their surroundings. Plants that make their own food in sunlight are called as autotrophic plants. As they can prepare their own food, they are called as autotrophic plants. Plants, those who cannot prepare their own food and they use other plants for food, are called as heterotrophic plants. And the plants that consume insects from food are called as insectivorous plant. So even in plants, there are so many diversity which exist. Even you must have seen some are tall, some are short, some have flowers in them, some do not have flowers in them. They are called as flowering and non-flowering plants. Some have fruits, some do not have fruits. So there are varieties of plants that exist. Some have different types of leaves, then they have different types of stem, they have different heights and so on. So in plants also, there are so many different varieties. So according to the mode of nutrition, that is what amount of nutrition they take, they are classified into different types. That is, first, as we have talked, that is autotrophic plants. They can prepare their own food. They can make their own food for themselves. Then there are heterotrophic plants, those who cannot prepare their own food. Then we have insectivorous plants, that is, they consume insects for the nitrogen. They require more amount of nitrogen in them. So to fulfill their amount of nitrogen, what they do is they consume plant. And then some plants can also be saprotrophic. That is, they consume or they feed on some other plants like the fungi. So according to the nutrition, we have divided the plants into different types. Let's understand the structure of plants. Now we know that a plant grows from seed, and then from the seed plumule is grown and radicle is grown. From the radicle roots are grown, and from the plumule the stem and the other parts are grown. This is called as the germination of seed. You have studied this in your previous class. Let's understand the structure of plants now. So the plants is mainly divided into two parts. One that is below the ground and one which is above the ground. So below the ground we have roots, and above the ground we have stem, we have leaf, flower, fruits, etc. So roots are present which are below the ground. And what is the main function of the root is to hold the plant properly. That is, it is firmly attached to the soil. Also, the main function of root is to provide nutrients and water to the upper part of the plant. There are various conducting systems which are present in the plant, from which the water and minerals are provided to the upper part of the plant. So what roots does is it absorbs the water and the minerals from the soil, and it provides to the upper part of the plant. So this is the main function of root. Now roots can be either taproot or fibrous roots. Now there are many other types of roots also, but you have only two types, that is taproot and fibrous root. Taproot example is like radish. You have seen how they are merging like a triangle inside. And fibrous root, if you will see onion, they have some small hairs on them. So those are like fibers. These are called as the fibrous root. These are two main types of roots which are there. There are some other types also, but you don't have them now. Then we have the stem of the plant, which is above the soil. Now what stem does is it provides the proper height to the plant. It also gives size and shape to the plant. Also, the stem carries out the function of the production and conduction and also storage of food. From the roots, it takes up the water and minerals, and it provides to the topmost part of the plant also, to all the leaves and all. So this is the main function of the stem. Also, because of the stem, the plant is straight, and that is why it has the shape and size. Next is the leaf. Now the leaves are either, it can be simple leaf like only one leaf is present, or it can be compound leaf like many small leaves are attached together. Those are called as the compound leaves. Now, the leaves plays a very important role, that is in production of food. The photosynthesis which take place, which for the plant, the plant make their own food with the help of sunlight and the chlorophyll which is present in them. So with photosynthesis, they prepare their own food. So that is the main function of the leaf, that is the production of food. And they can be of two types, that is simple leaves and compound leaves. Then we have fruits in the plant and also flowers. Now fruits which are there, they also have different shape and different color. Also food can have one seed or many seeds also. Also from the fruit only, the seeds, they are dispersed and then new plant can be grown. So we can remove the seed of a plant and then we can grow a new plant. Then we have flowers. Flower is the most attractive part of the plant, and also it may be connected to the stalk or it can be connected to the stem. Also, the flower have their typical color to attract the insects. Also, the flower is the main part in reproduction, because from the flower only the reproduction take place, and from the flower then the fruits are formed. So these are the main structures of plant, that is root, stem, leaf, flower and fruit. Now children, plants can also be classified according to their shape, their size, their height. So according to that, plants can be classified into trees or shrubs or herbs or vines. So the first classification of plant is into trees. Now trees, they grow very tall, we know that. They have stem or trunk, it is very hard, and also they have branches and they are very dense. They also bear fruits and flowers, and such type of trees are usually found in forest also. Now trees are tall and big, and the trees, their life cycle is dependent whether they are annual or biennial or perennials. Now if they are annuals, that means they will be surviving for 1 year. If they are biennials, that means 2 years. And if they are perennials, that means they will live for many years. So according to that, we have different types of trees also. Next are the shrubs. Now shrubs, they grow very close to the ground and they give out branches very close to the ground. They are shorter and smaller in size than trees, and so they are called as shrubs. They are not very thick and hard. Their stems are not that thick and hard. And so as they are small, that is why they are called as shrubs, and their size ranges from around 2 to 3 meters. Next are the herbs, for example, tulsi plant or oregano plant. If you have seen a tulsi or a oregano plant, you will see that they grow almost from 1 to 1.5 meter tall, and their stem is green and they are quite flexible. Also, they may live for few months or up to 2 years. So this is their lifespan. Next are the vines, or you can call it as creepers. Now the stem of creeper are very flexible. They are soft, they are green, and they need support to climb. That is why you will find that they are always found near the wall. Now some climbers spread on the ground. For example, pumpkin. If you have seen a plant of pumpkin, you will see that they spread on the ground. While some have the aerial roots like the money plant. And some climbers, they also develop dendrils like the cucumber. Now plants can also be flowering or non-flowering plant. If the plant bear flowers, they are called as flowering plants. And if the plant do not bear flowers, they are called as non-flowering plants.